So we were discussing about physical and chemical changes. So what is a physical change? Once again, I'll make it a little bit bigger so that you can see properly. So this is a difference between physical and chemical change. So what is a physical change? Actually, physical changes are generally temporary. The changes which we can see, okay, the changes which we can see. These changes can show variation in the state of matter, energy, physical appearance, okay. So we can see how the physical appearance is changing for physical change. Like for example, melting of ice, you can see the ice is melting in front of your eyes and they can be reversible again. Again, you can make it into a solid ice cube, okay. And even few are reversible and few are irreversible in physical changes also, like crumpling of a sheet of paper. When you just fold a paper and crumble the sheet of paper completely, again you can make it back like a normal one. No, you cannot. So this becomes a irreversible or reversible. It becomes a irreversible change now, crumbling of a paper. But melting of an ice is a reversible change. You can even make it back into a solid ice cube. So here we'll discuss a few physical and chemical changes. Now coming to chemical change, children. What is a chemical change? These changes are permanent. They can't be reversed back. They are irreversible. So you have to think before you are giving an answer to someone or writing an answer on a paper. So you have to think twice. So what is a chemical change? What is this change reversible or irreversible? Firstly, you have to think that. Is this change a reversible change or an irreversible change? So usually chemical changes are irreversible, means they can't revert back. We can't bring back them into normal state as they were. So here, what these chemical changes give out. So these chemical changes, they give out heat and light or energy, can be observed, and you can see the changes. Like you can see the color also will be changing, and you can see the color during the chemical change. So these changes affect the chemical composition of a substance. These chemical changes, they show the change in the chemical composition also. Like for example, if you are just mixing salt in the food, the recipes which your mother prepares, the curry which your mother prepares, in that if you don't put the salt, what happens? Do it taste properly? No, it do not taste properly. If everything is in a normal quantity, like salt is proper in that curry, then you can be able to eat it. So what this salt do? So there will be a chemical change. There will be a chemical reaction in that. And not in the sense of reaction. If you keep the salt in that, it completely dissolves and it changes the taste. It enhances the taste of that curry. Okay. So adding that salt also in that, with some sort of chemical changes occur. So these chemical changes, they change the chemical composition of a few substances. So it was an example for that, and even a few more examples like egg. Egg, when it is fried and some salt is being added, then you can be able to eat it. It's really tasty in eating. And even a few more examples if you want. Then change of milk into curd. It is also a chemical change. You cannot bring back that curd. You cannot transform that curd into milk again. And even more examples are rusting of iron. Iron, if it is rusted, you cannot uh, bring back that iron into its normal state. If it is completely rusted, it will be spoiled a lot. So these are some changes which are taking place. And as we have already discussed about the carbon dioxide when dissolved in water forms carbonic acid. So this, it is just, bubbles come out, effervescence of bubbles come out. We usually see this carbonated drinks like, uh, as I have told you, Pepsi and Sprite. You all love to drink these soft drinks. I mean, like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, we all drink it. So in this, usually you see when you open the bottle, open the cap out, bubbles come out, isn't it? Bubbles. So these bubbles are, so this drink is usually carbonated. Carbon dioxide is being dissolved inside. So children, is this clear now with the physical and chemical change? Physical changes are temporary and reversible. For example, if you see, take a rubber band. On that day, we have already discussed about this example. If you take a rubber band and pull it, what happens? When you leave it, it comes back to its normal shape. If you go on just putting the pressure on that and go on pulling it, what happens? It breaks down. It breaks. So these are the physical and chemical changes, and these were a few examples. Physical and chemical changes. Physical changes are, some are reversible and some are irreversible. So breaking of wood, cutting of wood is also a irreversible change. You cannot attach back this wood, but you can prepare different things out of it. Here, if it is burnt completely, then a chemical change takes place. It leaves out ashes and burns into fire. Okay, so a few more examples like rotting of banana, fireworks, these are the chemical changes. And physical changes are melting of ice, chopping of wood, slicing of bread. These are a few examples. And now if we see desirable and undesirable change. One second. Now we'll just go through desirable and undesirable changes. So what are these desirable and undesirable changes? Some changes that occur around us may be desirable or may be undesirable. In the sense, it might be liked by you. Desirable in the sense you like it or you dislike it. Some changes like your mother is preparing some delicious dish. So it is very, you just desire to have that. You like to eat it. So you rush to eat it. You go to your mother and ask for that dish that I want to eat it. So these are desirable changes. So the fruit, so the vegetables, they are being changing. They are being converting into delicious curry. So this is a desirable change which you like. And a few more examples I have given you for desirable changes like ripening of mango. You'll be waiting for the mango to ripen and become yellow so that you can eat it. Each and every child loves to eat that mango. So these are the desirable changes. Desirable changes in the sense the fruits, they are changing. They are changing their color, they are changing their taste, texture, everything. So these are the desirable changes which are happening. Transformation of one thing into another is called change. So you all have wrote it in you all have written it in your books. These desirable and undesirable changes. Please note it down, children. Note it down in your books. Desirable and undesirable changes. Just 1 second, children. Yeah, write it down, children. Desirable and undesirable changes. 1 second. Please note it down. Keep your camera, everyone. Keep your cam on. Yeah, note it down. Desirable and undesirable changes. Transformation of one thing into another is called a change. Change in color. Raw mango is green in color but changes into yellow on ripening. So it is an example for, it is also a desirable change. If finished, then I'll change this slide. Change in size is also a desirable change. Change in shape, change in position, like your change in size in the sense your nails on your fingers, they grow, they change in size. Always you're going on cutting your nails because they'll be growing. So now this is a desirable or undesirable. You again you'll be very fed up of cutting off your nails. It is an undesirable change. The change which you do not like is called as undesirable change. And even can you just tell me a few, just raise your hand, those who can give me a few examples for this desirable and undesirable changes? Can anyone give me two more examples of desirable change? Yeah, Manovna?
Ma'am, once can you keep that desirable and undesirable side? No? Last one I have.
Okay. Yes, anyone, you can just give me an example, two examples of desirable and undesirable change. Sikshita, can you just give me the things which you like, the changes which you like, and two changes which you do not like, desirable and undesirable. Can you give me two examples or at least one example? You like eating banana,
Yes, ma'am.
and if you just kept it and you forgotten and it's spoiled, I mean it got rotten, then you feel it very bad, isn't it? So is it
Yeah.
desirable or undesirable?
Undesirable.
Undesirable. Oh, so have you understood about
Yes,
desirable
ma'am.
and undesirable? Keep your
Yes,
camera,
ma'am.
everyone, so that I can see you. Yes, children, any doubts? Keep your camera, Nivedita, Srihit, Srinika, Tanushree, Harshit. Again and again, we will not remind you in each and every class. Kaushal, Ashwin, Harshit, Srihit, your camera is not there. I can't see you. Yes, so the change in color, like a raw mango, so it is a desirable change. A raw mango changing into yellow color, ripened fruit. So it is a desirable change. Change in size, change in shape. Shape in the sense, this flower. Usually the girls, they like putting flowers. So a bud opens into a flower. It changes its shape. So it is a desirable change. Even your pets. For example, you have pets in your house, so your pet started growing into a big, a small kitten is there. It looks very cute when it is small. So it grows up. When it is grows up, its cuteness disappears. So it is a undesirable change. You just think that, oh, it was nice when it was very small. Some changes that are undesirable. So now it is clear regarding this. Now change in position. The clock, if you see the clock or the watch on your hand, it will be changing its position. The hands, our hands, and minutes hand, seconds hand, they will be changing their position. And can you give me one more example for this change in position? Yes, anyone? Change in position? Yes, Srinika?
Ma'am, this you just now you told now, ma'am, desirable and undesirable. Please, can you keep that?
Okay. Yes, no one? Change in position. Give me one example for change in position. Agastya.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Change in position. What are the things which change in position?
Ma'am,
What are
clock.
the changes? Yeah.
Ma'am, it changes the time, ma'am.
Clock. Yeah, it's there already. But I want some other example. Yes, Rudranish.
Teacher moving.
Teacher moving. It is a desirable change for you if the teacher is going away from the class.
Ma'am, you said position, no, ma'am.
Yeah. Position in the sense anything which is desirable or undesirable. If the time is changing, if something which is going on for you, if your class is there and before your class, you're just doing something like playing a game. And now time is passing on, the 9, it's up to going to be 9 now, and you can't play your game. So it is a desirable change or undesirable change. You can't play your game in that time because the time is changing its position. The clock hands are changing their position. So it is a undesirable change for you.
Ma'am, revolution of the earth.
Yes, good. Revolution of the earth. So
Ma'am, rotation also, ma'am.
yeah. Okay, good.
Traveler.
Yeah.
Traveler, ma'am.
Traveler, yeah. Traveler will also be changing its his position. Okay. And a few more examples you can give. Change in position. Okay. I'll just check who are just raising their hands. Manogna, yeah, Manogna. Manogna, you can unmute yourself. Ashwin, you have any doubt? Hitansh,
No, ma'am, I want to say the example, ma'am.
yeah, say it.
Ma'am, surfboarding, ma'am, in the sea.
Yeah, sorry. Can you repeat it?
And going, and ma'am, hiking, ma'am, in the mountains.
Yeah, hiking in a mountain. Okay, so it is a desirable change again. Okay. Yeah, Rudranish. Yes, I've unmuted you, Rudranish. Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Moving of an aeroplane, ma'am.
Yes, moving on of an aeroplane. So it's a change in position. Okay. Okay, very good. I'll just mute you all and then I'll proceed. 1 second. I'll give others also
Ma'am.
chance to give to just
Ma'am,
yeah. I'll give it a chance. Yes,
No,
Agastya.
ma'am, watching the movie.
Ma'am, moving of a bike and car, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, I
moving
have
of
a
a bike
doubt.
and car.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, watching the movie.
Yes.
Ma'am means desirable means reversible, undesirable means irreversible, ma'am.
No, it's not like that. Anything which is, it can be anything. It can be reversible or it can be irreversible also.
Ma'am means desirable means which we like. We have which we are like. Which we like.
Yeah, which you like. Desirable. Undesirable.
Ma'am, that is our
means-
wish. Ma'am,
Yeah.
that is our wish.
It may happen against your wish also. If it is happening against your wish, then it will be undesirable. Okay.
Ma'am,
If it is happening, yeah, watching the
Because
movie,
so
and
many people
if
have
you're
different
if you're watching the
desirable
movie,
things.
yeah, there are so many desirable and undesirable changes. If you're watching a movie and suddenly if the power cuts off, if the power goes off, then it is an undesirable change. Okay. You don't like it.
But
Okay. So I'll just mute you all and I'll just continue. Change in physical state. So what is the change in physical state actually? If a container filled with water is kept in a freezer, then there will be a physical change. What will happen to that water which is kept in the container in a refrigerator if you just uh, keep it in a fridge? What happens to the water after a particular time? Do it be like a liquid? What happens to it? What happens to its physical state? Do its physical state changes? Keep your camera, don't raise your hand, simply keep your cam. Yeah, Ashwin.
Ma'am,
What happens to water? Yeah, it becomes ice. Now, what happens to its physical state? How the physical state changes from liquid to
ice, ma'am.
liquid to solid? It changes its physical state, like it changes from liquid to solid. So, change in physical state. We all know that there are three types of physical states. What are they? What are the three types of states? Solid, liquid, and gas. So, what happens to this physical state now? Now, the water is in liquid form. If you keep it in the freezer, what happens to this physical state? Now, from this liquid state, the water is changing into solid state. Okay. So, change in hardness. What is change in hardness? Some things will become, at earlier stage they will be like semi-solid. It, after some time they will become hard. Like example, batter of a cake will be very soft. It will be semi-solid. Something like it will flow. If you bake this cake, what happens? The batter will become hard. The cake will become fluffy. It will become very soft. You want to eat it, okay, when it is baked. Now this is change in hardness. Now this changes, you can see it is changing. The batter, when it was in a liquid form, it changed when it is baked. When it is baked, it became a cake. It becomes somewhat hard. So this is the change. Now types of changes, if you see here, there are 6 types of changes, children. Natural and man-made changes. Natural changes you can see in the nature, like around you. Natural changes like small chicken, a kitten or a puppy. So they change. These are the normal natural changes. They become slowly, they'll be growing. A small baby, he'll be growing. So these are the natural changes. A few more natural changes like fruit, which is ripening, mango, it is ripening. It will be changing its color. So these are natural. And now what are man-made changes? What are man-made changes? What are the changes? Man-made changes like just you have told me that uh, plane will be moving. So this plane, there are timings. The timings you can change, and even me also. Now your class is there at 9 o'clock. I may do any changes regarding your timings, your class timings. I may be taking your class not on first period. On third period, I can take your class. So these are changes which we can do. Okay. These are changes which we can do it depending on the situation. Okay. A few more man-made changes. Can you give me any example of man-made changes, children? You can raise your hands. Keep your camera on. Raise your hands so that I can see you. Keep your camera. Yeah, Hitansh. Hitansh, I have unmuted you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Hitansh.
Ma'am, moving off a train also.
Yes,
Oh, ma'am.
moving off a train also. Even train timings also, they'll be changing.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are
When the
man-made. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Hitan, shall we? You were telling something?
yes, ma'am. If in the train timing will also change, no, ma'am. If the train is at 1, we will change the timing to 3.
Yes. Okay. Yes, Ashwin.
Ma'am, we'll write, ma'am. Writing.
You'll write and show. Ashwin, I can't get you. What you told?
Ma'am, we'll write, ma'am.
You want to write all these?
No, ma'am, writing.
Okay. Yeah. Writing also. Okay. Ashwin wants to tell that in writing also you can do some changes, especially in this class. Again and again, you just rub it and write it again. Okay. So these are man-made changes. You can do changes in your notes also. Suppose if you're writing anything, you have written anything wrong, you can rub it and then write it again. Okay. And now coming to slow and fast changes. This you already learned. Now can you give me some examples of slow and fast changes? Raise your hand so that I can unmute you. What about others? Only I'm getting the answer from Hitan, Ashwin, and Rudranish. Yes.
Ma'am, growth of animals and humans, plants.
Yes. So these are fast or
Slow,
slow changes?
slow changes, ma'am.
Slow changes. Okay, good. Yes. Ashwin. Rudranish, I have unmuted you.
Ma'am, slow changes.
Slow changes. Yes. Give me few examples of them.
Snail, ma'am.
Yes.
Snail.
Snail
And fast change
moving.
is train.
Yes.
Fast change is train.
Okay. Yes. Good. Yes, Rudranish.
Ma'am, slow changes are germination of seeds,
Yeah.
growth of humans, animals.
Okay.
Fast changes are fireworks, bursting of crackers.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good. So these are fast changes. Okay. So only these three are able to understand in this class and not others. What about others?
Ma'am, ma'am, fast change, ma'am, breaking an egg.
Breaking of egg. Okay. It comes under desirable and undesirable also. Okay. You can even tell like that also. You can even include those also. Like it also comes under desirable and undesirable. Okay. Is it a desirable or undesirable change if it breaks?
Undesirable, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Good. Yes, Rikshita.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
dissolving salt in water.
Okay.
Is
So it
slow
is a
change.
slow
Slow
change or
change.
fast change?
Slow change, ma'am.
It is a fast change. It dissolves fast.
Ma'am, it is a fast change, ma'am.
Yeah, it is a fast change. Yes, Anvita.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
right types of changes.
Yeah, if you want, you can write it. You can write it and write. It's a homework for you. Types of changes you have to write. Two examples you have to give for this. Okay.
Ma'am, shall we take screenshot?
Yeah, you can take the screenshot because time is
Same
being
like this
finished.
right, ma'am?
Yeah, you can write it in your homework book. Give up 2 examples and write for each of them.
Ma'am, in SN or class talk we have to write this.
Classwork.
Ma'am, shall we keep heading the natural and man-made changes after? We should write examples.
Yeah, you